the university is an issue that is vital to the city of Columbia, particularly, but the state of Missouri in general. And I sort of divide the issues of the university into two categories. The first is sort of the financial aspect. It's a tough one. You know, it's always a struggle to get money for the university in Jefferson City. I like the approach that Jeff Harris and Judy Baker, the reps from the 23rd and 25th district respectively, have taken in recent years in terms of trying to get other institutions of higher learning throughout the state, whether they're community colleges or junior colleges or other four-year programs, and getting programs that they have an investment in to sort of tie all these institutions together and show the entire state that it's not just Columbia, that we need to fund higher education throughout the state, and we're going to get the benefit of that here in Columbia because we are the flagship institution, but showing them all the importance of it. And then second would be sort of the policies, and that is sort of academic freedom, and I think that's an important issue. And I think people often miss what the issue is. The issue is not stem cell research. I support stem cell research, but even if I didn't, even if I was opposed to it, I would say that the University of Missouri should be left to make decisions as long as they're operating within the boundaries of the law, which were approved by Missouri voters. They're operating within the boundaries of the professional standards of their particular discipline. Then the General Assembly shouldn't be telling them what type of research they can do and what type of research they can't do. And so it's not about stem cells. It's about whether the University of Missouri and the researchers we have here are free of government interference into their work. And I think that's very important as well.
It has been, I hear from people going to the legislature for, requesting appropriations for higher education, that the funding, well, the data shows that the funding has gone down, and that Missouri is among the bottom of the comparable universities and state funding. So there's obviously a little bit of a challenge there. How would you address that challenge and just get the university on the radar with legislators? Well,
if we go down and say, we're the Columbia delegation, we represent the University of Missouri, and we need a big increase. The math works against us. There's basically 3 representatives and 1 state senator that represent Columbia, and there's 163 representatives and 34 senators. So you can see that's not going to work well. What we need to do is find a way to get other people on board, people from St. Louis, from Kansas City, from the rural areas, so make sure they understand the role the university plays. The Preparing to Care proposal, which was championed by Judy Baker this year, and I think it's a good proposal. And what it did was provide money for training and health professions. We need more health professionals here in Missouri. Right now we're importing them from other countries, which is just a mind-blowing. We've got the high unemployment in the state, and we can't even educate enough people to work in our hospitals. But what this program did was it provided this money, and it spread it out. A lion's share was going to come to the University of Missouri, but part of it was going to come to every institution of higher learning in the state of Missouri. So people all over the state were going to see the benefit of this program. And it didn't work this year. The Republicans killed it, and they'll probably try again. But I think next year, continue pushing. I think that's a program and a model that can work really well for expanding funding to the higher education.
Okay, great. Any other issues or anything else that I haven't mentioned here that you'd like to bring up? We've covered a lot.
We have covered a lot. I think, energy, energy policy is going to be the thing that makes or breaks us as a country. If we figure out energy and we figure out healthcare, we're going to be okay. And if we don't, we're not going to be okay. And a lot of that is federal. The federal government has dropped the ball on both those two issues. But there are things we can do here at the state level as well. I think the 10% corn ethanol mandate is a mistake. It's not environmentally friendly. It's not energy efficient. It's not smart economic policy. We need to repeal that. We need to invest in truly renewable sources of energy. We can work with ethanol, but it's not going to be corn. It should be switchgrass or algae or another sort of biomass. We need to put money into wind. We have the Rockport in northwest Missouri is the first town in America that's fully powered by wind. And that's an achievement here in Missouri, and we should expand on that. So I think that's another really important issue we need to focus on as well.
And Ameren UE is proposing a second nuclear reactor in Callaway County. Mm-hmm. Do you support nuclear energy? I
want to see the proposal. I think that it's going to be an opportunity at least to have a serious discussion about energy policy here in Missouri. We need to have that discussion, and until we see what the actual proposal is, I can't come out for it either way. So I want to see whatever the proposal is. It needs to have a strong renewable energy component.